Yes, my two favorite things as a child was Superman and Mission Impossible. So, yeah, I was allowed one second ago. Your father. And we love seeing him on Game Show Network on Password and stuff like that. So when you joined this cast of Smallville, I was over the roof. It was awesome. My question is, what kind of advice did your father give you to when you wanted to become an actor, or did he discourage you or encourage you?
He truly tried to discourage me, and so did my mother. You know, when my father came around, there was only he and Bill Cosby. You know, Bill was doing I Spy and kind of tongue-in-cheeking it. My father was the first minority actor, African American, to come straight. You know, to come with intelligence and integrity, and he was gorgeous and just lovely, great voice, great bearing. And so many people have come up to me from all over the world saying, I've become a civil engineer because of your father. I've learned to speak, I come from Brazil, I learned to speak English watching your father's show. You know, my father told me that this was the hardest business in the world. And it is true. It's the hardest business in the world, but it is the most gratifying when it's done right and when you really put yourself out there. My father and I are very different. You know, I come from the method school of acting. He was very much fly by the seat of your pants kind of acting. So we differed a little bit in our approaches, but not in our passion. And the thing I learned about him was that passion rules the day. If everything flies out of my head and I have passion, I can live the next day. I can go on. Because life is still infinitely interesting to me. You know, now, I was going over my script the other night. I've been acting for 30 years. I started at 17. Last week, I'm going through my script and I came upon this character choice that I wanted to make, and I started writing copious notes. Now, I've been doing this a long time, but I still get inspired and motivated by these sparks of epiphany that happen as an artist, and that's what makes you wake up the next day. And I think that's what my father gave me, more than, you know, do A, B, or C. Did he try to discourage me? Yeah, because they kicked him in the teeth when he started. And they keep kicking us in the teeth. But it isn't about getting kicked in the teeth. It's about getting up, going to the orthodontist, and getting on with it. And I think that that's what makes me stronger. And that's what made me a better actor. I don't play actors as an actor. I play people. So I live my life as a human, and I bring that human experience to my work as an actor. So when I start playing actors, then I'll start to draw on my life as an actor. But until that happens, I'm always going to be in the life that I live. I play volleyball, I teach martial arts, you know, I write, I draw, I do all of this stuff that informs me as a human being. I travel, so that I can bring those experiences to bear on my work. And my father gave me that as well. So thank you for that question.
First of all, I love the loop, and I love the fact that you went there. Did you make it to the museum set?
I did.
That's my favorite, actually. So, Dante's Gates of Hell is just amazing.
It's overwhelming.
Isn't it? Okay. Secondly, Jar Jones is one of my favorite, if not the favorite, comic book character. I'm a huge comic book fan. So I think it's awesome that he's got screen time. Because he seems to get forgotten a lot.
Yeah. They pick him up, they drop him. They pick him up, they drop him. Now they've killed him.
Now they killed him. Just because they think it didn't happen.
Well, we never stayed dead for long.
That's true. My question is, when you were on the set, either Smallville or any set, what is the most memorable, either funny or sad, or, I mean, what's the thing that you always kind of catch yourself thinking about, like, oh God, I love when that happens, or about this?
I got a ton of them, but I'm going to tell you one that relates to all of us.
Okay.
Leonard Nimoy did his character called Spock on Star Trek. Do we remember the show he did after that? Mission Impossible. So I'm a little knucklehead, and I'm practicing mine at home. I did it pretty good. And my dad goes to introduce us to Leonard, and my dad says, don't. Do not call him Mr. Spock. Do not. Don't. So I met him, and I was very respectful as we were taught. And then I'm over kind of in the corner a little bit, and they're rehearsing a scene, and I kind of catch his eye. Well, he does this. He goes. Awesome. One of the favorite stories that I've got.
Hi. What is your favorite superhero and if you could have superpower?
Flying. These days, I fly in my dreams almost nightly. I dream color and fly in my dreams, and I don't think I'll ever stop. There's a toss-up, because I'm stuck in my kind of childhood mind. So my favorite comic book hero is probably the Black Panther, for obvious reasons. It was the first representation that I saw of myself in comics that made sense to me. So I gravitated towards him. My other favorite is the Silver Surfer, because I related to his alienation and his aloneness, and I found him to be infinitely intelligent. He was built like me, a little bit, not a big, muscular kind of superhero guy. He had the power cosmic. He was trapped on Earth. My favorite comic in the world is Silver Surfer 5, where he's trying to escape the bonds of Galactus. And Galactus has put this force field around the Earth, and he can't break this barrier. And he comes plummeting back to Earth, and he lands in the backyard of this African-American physicist. And the physicist builds this contraption that's going to kind of fool the barrier and use his power cosmic to shoot the power this way, and as the barrier goes to that side, the Silver Surfer can escape. But during this, they find out that there's a bomb on Earth, and they change that mission to try to find this bomb. And this physicist gives his life detonating this bomb. And there's a switch that engulfs him in gas, and he expires. And the Silver Surfer buries him. No one knows this physicist. He dies unknown. Buries him and gives him a flame, an eternal flame through his power cosmic at the end of it. And that is just one of the most beautiful stories you'll ever read, written by Stan Lee and drawn by John Buscema. So it's probably the Silver Surfer. Right now, I think it might be Wolverine or the Punisher. I'm not sure. But there's so many. It's hard to write on one. You have over 100,000 comics. So, but those two definitely are the ones that stick out in my mind. More. Like Smith in The Matrix, more.
So, what's the strangest con experience you've ever had?
Okay. Like, this is hard. I played a Klingon called Thopok in looking for Tarmok in all the wrong places. Deep Space Nine. So I learned how to use the bat'leth, and I learned a couple Klingon words. I was such a bad Klingon, they kicked me out of the Federation. Klingon Federation. How bad can you be, man? They kick you out of the Klingon Federation. So I do this character. I'm very proud of it. I have these pictures on I'm at San Diego. I have these pictures on my desk. My first con, and the Klingon picture's there. This dude walks up to me and he's like, it's not over. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Good. And he goes, black hole. I went, right. That dude was so upset that I didn't speak Klingon. He walked away angry. He didn't buy a picture, he was angry. And he goes over to his wrist and he's like, blah, 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 blah. So that's a pretty strange story. That's the clean story. That's the PG story.